Just do it. You'll love it. The holidays are the time that you want to go that extra effort, that extra amount of everything. And this cake is the one that will make you a superstar. It is a nut-based Gateau. It's got very, very little of anything in it but nuts and eggs. So it's almost flourless, just a little bit. And it's got this gorgeous chocolate glaze, and it's basically your showstopper. We're gonna start with separating eggs. You want to make sure that you never ever get one little tiny speck of yolk into your white. If that happens, your whites will never amount to anything. You can beat them all day till tomorrow and they will still stay flat. So what I do, large eggs, open it, have a bowl separate, take that, all the white out, put that into another bowl, and then you carry on knowing that there's no egg. Now, if I was gonna break the next one into the bowl that's got all the whites in it, and maybe I broke the yolk, I would have to throw all that away or just revert to scrambled eggs and ditch the cake. So this is going to go on high speed for about 3 minutes. So our whites are now fluffy and light. So we're gonna take these out and we're gonna transfer them to a bowl. You can see how beautiful and light and fluffy they are. And I am now going to put my yolks into the bowl. So the yolks are in, and we are going to then beat that until thick and lemon colored with sugar. Now what's making this extra special is this extra special rum. It's a family recipe, Goslings, that hail from Bermuda. It's a 150-year-old recipe, which is amazing. Like, I wouldn't live that long to have a 150-year-old recipe. So here is a little lesson in making a chocolate glaze. A chocolate glaze cannot be melted chocolate and then add your cream. What will happen to that is the chocolate will seize. In order for you to make a sauce, a chocolate glaze, everyone has to be at the party together. So that means the cream goes in, the good chocolate goes in, the beautiful Goslings rum goes in, and we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of rum because we're gonna save some for the cake. We have a little bit of instant espresso powder. All of that is going to go on the back burner, just on low, to melt. Now, it will come out as a beautiful, thick, glossy glaze. This is gonna be a little bit loud, so you're gonna watch me slowly add the sugar and the rum to the beaten yolks. So when I say thick and lemon colored, it's exactly what I mean. Thick and lemon colored. That gives this cake a fighting chance to be the best cake ever for texture, for lifting, for all of those things. I am going to fold in flour to the nuts, and I've got 2 full heaping cups of chopped beautiful pecans. In, all of it. And mix that into the yolk. I'm gonna take 1/3 of the whites, I'm gonna fold it into the nut mixture and lighten it. And then I'm gonna take the final 2/3 and very lightly and carefully fold over. But before I want to do that, I can let that sit for a moment. I want to talk about a springform pan because that's what this cake needs. A springform pan is literally that. It has a spring on one side, and when you take it apart, the bottom falls out. And I have buttered and floured, and I always like to do an extra step and parchment because you never know. So I'm going to take 1/3 of this and I'm going to lighten the batter. Okay, so I've lightened that up considerably. Now you can see that it's dropping. Now I'm going to take the whites and I'm going to gently fold them in. You're not going to beat, you're going to fold. And folding is this, up and over, up and over, until you see no more white. You want everything prepared, because once you pour this mixture into the pan, we want to get it into the oven immediately. 350 preheated oven. We're going to pour that out. You see how nice and light and beautiful? It's like a nut sponge cake. So it's not heavy, so it's quite appropriate for a holiday meal, because usually holiday meals are multiple courses and you're full, and then dessert comes around, it's like, oh, I'm going to burst at the seams. So now the next tip is to give it a tap. Do you know why I'm doing that? Releasing any air bubbles on the bottom so that they come to the top, they burst, that when we cut into our cake, there's no air pocket. Done, in the oven. Okay, I'm just stirring this up carefully. Now, you'll see that it is separated, so you're going to give it a good stir. It's definitely way too hot to pour on our cake, but you see as I stir, the chocolate and the cream come together. I can smell the nose of the Goslings Rum and the espresso. Now, way too hot for the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that into the refrigerator just so we can carry on. All right, cake's baked. I've left the springform part on the bottom because you can't handle it like that. You need the structure, which is why these pans are so popular when you're doing sponge cakes and decorated cakes. So I have some whipped cream, plain whipped cream, a little piping bag, and I've dropped a tip in the center to do little rosettes. So it's just for the top, and then I'm going to very carefully, so what I'm doing is I'm just spreading this cream along the sides so that I can make it pretty, because if you look at the side of the cake as I'm showing you there, it doesn't look so hot. It looks like a baked cake with a rough edge. So we're just going to cover this whole edge. Then I have got the same nuts. If you're using hazelnuts, pecans, almonds, whatever you choose, it all has to match. So you wouldn't put almonds in there and then pecans on the outside. I mean, you could, but you just wouldn't. Chopped, toasted, make sure you toast them, and look, like glue, just like I said. Look at the glue. It just sticks there beautifully like that. That's gonna go there like that. Boom. Then we're coming back to our glaze. All the way to the edge. It's like a big, beautiful chocolate ganache on top. Make sure that you push all the cream in. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna start this way. We're going to do and come across. And then that way, you always have the perfect amount of rosettes. And then I carefully reserved whole ones so that we could do a pretty, pretty finish. And there you have a really pretty show-stopping dessert to end any meal that everybody will just go wow for. Just do it. You'll love it.